Hello, fellow Pokemon trainers, Pokemon lovers, Pokemon haters, Pokemon breeders. This is week 8 of the tournament, ADV Rev 3. So going into this, me and my opponent, that person over there, 5-2. It's do or die now. If you lose any more of the sets, they're all best of 3, by the way, you are eliminated for all eternity. You get sent to the Shadow Realm. I'm too soft for the Shadow Realm, so hopefully this goes well for me. So this is game 1. Oh boy. So I decided to bring in the Metal Bird of Destruction, and they have a Metacham. You would think, the beginner would think that, oh, this is a decent matchup. You got a physical aura here against a physical attacker. They went for a focus punch. It did 77, man. Oh my god. So I go for Protect, and then they just switch them, go for Rock Slide. I was almost thinking maybe they're banded. No, Metacham is just that strong. It does not need a choice band. If it was banded, I literally would have been vanquished. So I make a crazy risky play, and I bring in Gengar, full well knowing that thing most likely has Shadow Ball. But I actually debated them because, you know, they ran away thinking that I had Willow Miss. I actually don't. I only have Giga Drain, Thunderbolt, Ice Punch, and Explosion. So they bring in, you know, the cringiest Pokemon ever. I was like, hey, let me call that. So I bring in my own Cringe Lord, and they end up paralyzing me. Okay, remember this one, guys. So they bring in a Tyranitar. I was like, thank God. They set up the sand. This battle shouldn't go to turn 200, I hope. I poison this Tyranitar. Watch this. Watch this. This is important information, right? They went... Okay, well, I switched out, obviously. I didn't feel like getting paraflinched because, what do you think? They went for Rock Slide. You're thinking, oh, David, that's such a normal thing. Exactly. That's my point. Remember that, though. This Tyranitar went for Rock Slide on Blissey, and I brought in Swampert. So they bring in the Starmie. By the way, I hate this Starmie. I hate it. It's despicable. So you might have noticed I did 36 damage on that. So my Swampert doesn't have any attack investment. That Starmie is for sure physically tanky. So I don't know what I was thinking. That was not a good idea. I should have just brought in Blissey right there and maybe Seismic Toss somebody or whatever. But I bring in Gengar. I'm like, I knew it was defensive, so it's probably going to have Thunder Wave. And then, like, they actually, yeah, they just straight up predicted it, and they brought in... Or I brought in I swapped out a Swampert, and then I brought in the one guy, Gengar, just to get paralyzed. Okay, so then I tried to catch the Blissey, as you might have saw 2 seconds ago, with the explosion. They brought in Rock Monster Demon Godzilla. I was so mad. I was hoping that I got paralyzed that turn. Here it comes! Here it comes! This is the turn. This is the turn where I was like, yep. So remember how that Tyranitar went for Rock Slide earlier on Blissey? I was under the impression right about now that this is like, you know, it's probably a Dragon Dance one with leftovers. It could be mixed. It could have Brick Break. It could have a status move. It could have literally anything under the sun. I have a Lumberry. You could paralyze me. I don't care. I am clicking Dragon Dance right now, and I'm going to kill every single one of those Pokemons I see right there. I should have... Yeah, no. I have Rock Slide, Earthquake, HP, Bug, Dragon Dance, okay? All those dudes left right there with the spikes and me outspeeding them, they're all going to die, okay? So there's nothing that this Tyranitar can do to kill me at all. Not even a Brick Break. Watch this. Focus Punch. Focus Punch. Focus Punch. Remember the Avengers movie or whatever with like Doctor Strange? Like, oh, I've seen like millions of cajillions of different outcomes. How many do we win? 1. That was the one thing that could have saved them. Oh, this was my second favorite turn of the battle. Check it out. So after Tyranitar completely crushes my Tyranitar, and almost all my hopes are gone because I don't actually have any real offense, like real offense. Because my last Pokemon's a Starmie, and funny enough, it's... Wait, no, I didn't bring the defensive one. I brought an offensive one, but it's kind of offensive. It doesn't have Thunderbolt. It just has Surf and Ice Beam and then Rapid Spin and Recover. I went for Earthquake on that Starmie. I got a lower roll from earlier. First time was 36. That one was 33. It lives on 7 HP. I'm like, come on, Sandstorm. Do your thing. And it lived. It lived. So guess what happens next to David? Oh, you're not gonna. Oh, recover. Wow. So who'd have seen that coming? So I go for another earthquake, and now here. Let me speed this up for you. Let's put it on normal speed. Yeah. Save some of your time. You're only on Earth for so much time, guys. I'm basically stuck in the infinite Tsukiyomi, and this stupid Starmie just keeps going for recover. You're thinking, David, why don't you just switch? There's nothing else better I can do. My Skarmory, nothing. I'll actually just get paralyzed. I can't poison it as natural cure. I can't go for spikes. It's got rapid spin. The Blissey, I mean, I've got Seismic Toss, but then they've got this Medicham, and then I'll have to switch back into somebody else, take a Brick Break. And then my final Pokemon, Starmie, who doesn't even have Thunderbolt or Thunder Wave, just has Surf and Ice Beam. So I'm like, oh, this is probably my best bet. Certainly I'll get a crit eventually. So I just keep wailing on the Starmie, old Patrick Star. Just think, guys, this wasn't even a Mega Starmie yet. That was 20 years into the future. People love Mega Starmie, and I'm definitely not being sarcastic. Well, some people do. It's very controversial. It was the most voted on poll of my channel. So we have made zero progress. Well, actually, no, we have. They're making progress on killing my Swampert. I think this is the turn where I was just like, I'm done. I'm going home. Yep, they crit me, guys. How many Earthquakes do I have left? Oh, so I've hit them with about 13. They hit me with like, what, 2 or 3 Surfs or something around there. And they got a crit. That's cool. That's really cool, man. So just keep going for Earthquakes. I think this is my last one. No, I got 2 more Earthquakes left in the tank. And it's okay, because I actually end up critting them right now and killing them. But they got the rapid spin off, so they got rid of the spikes. And I lied, by the way. I didn't actually crit them. So now this Starmie is stuck here forever. And they go for a recover. And now I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad that you crit me. I definitely, that didn't impede my progress at all in this battle. So now I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna die on this hill. I'm gonna keep Ice Beam, crit freeze. It didn't work. So then Swampert dies. And I was like, okay, I'll just bring in Blissey. And I went for a Toxic on Starmie, and it actually hits the Tyranitar. I'm like, oh, well, I know you have Focus Punch this time, so I'm clicking Ice Beam just in case. They didn't even go for Focus Punch. They went for Rock Slide. Oh my God. I could have went for Soft Blow and just Toxic Sold them the whole time. But don't worry, guys. Justice prevailed because they missed Rock Slide. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, so I get the Soft Blow off. Yeah, so Blissey's at 100% health. Oh, that's right. You have a Pokemon that can kill my whole entire team. Bye, Skarmory. And the Medicham has Shadow Ball as I anticipated. So much for my Gengar bluff with the Will-O-Wisp that I never had. Oh, and it put me just in range for the Sandstorm to kill my Starmie. But theirs got off scot-free and caused me a lot of pain and agony. So I got completely destroyed. But don't worry, guys. It's a best of 3. But we all know I'm not going to be making the playoffs. So let's get to game 2. Okay, game 2. I'm bringing the pain with me. So I took a page out of the book. I was like, okay, so you led with Medicham. Now me lead with Medicham. And I immediately threatened that thing with a Brick Break. They bring in a Salamence. And I discover right here that it has leftovers. I was like, okay, that's good to know. I don't have to worry about a Lumberry. Maybe I could status it later on in the battle. So then they run away into their Skarmory, and they must be trying to set up spikes. So I bring in Snorlax, right? After that Focus Punch haunted me, I was like, what if they predict this and go into Doug Trio? Because I have a Magneton on my team. I was like, nah, I'll just click Body Slam. I did not get the pair, but they just stayed, and I was like, okay, you don't have a Doug Trio. And guys, you're not going to believe this. So I send in Magneton right now. Check this out. I'm just kidding. They didn't have a Doug Trio. They just go for a second layer of spikes. And then they didn't go for Protect for whatever reason. I just one-shot that thing. 98% almost a one-shot. Maybe it wasn't fully Spadef investment. I don't know, but I end up killing it. Check this out. This Salamence, I was kind of scared. I was like, oh, I'm going to die right now. Earthquake, Fire Blast. They go for a Brick Break. I was like, that's going to kill me. I lived. And then I just killed this Salamence with my Magnet Thunderbolt thing. So that's 2 kills for Magneton if you're keeping track. Then they send in Tyranitar. I was like, okay, well, these hands are rated E for everybody. Go for another Thunderbolt. That did 59. I don't exactly know too much about Tyranitar because there's so much to know about Tyranitar, but I don't think that one has like bulk to it. I feel like that did a bit much. I feel like that should have done like 50. So I bring in Medicham to just, you know, punch that guy in the face, and they bring in another Starmie. But I saw that damage. I was like, yeah, this one's not defensive. This one's definitely offensive. It is frail. That should not have done that much damage. So I bring in Snorlax, obviously. And then they go for their special attack move. They go for Hydro Mist. They missed. I did not care at all. That is the risk that you run. I don't care. So I bring in Snorlax, and I'm going to squash this guy under my 1,000-pound body weight. I think Snorlax might be heavier. I end up paralyzing Tyranitar. It doesn't matter as a lumber. I was like, oh, this is the Dragon Dancing Tyranitar that I thought I saw in the previous battle. Okay, well, this one doesn't have Focus Punch. Thank God, right? It goes for Rock Miss, and it flinches. No, I'm kidding. It didn't flinch me. So I kill that guy with an Earthquake. Didn't want to risk Body Slam not killing it, even though I could have parried something else if they want to switch in. So then they bring in this Metagross. It's probably going to punch me in the face. I'm going to die. I barely hold on. I go for an Earthquake, and then I crit them. Now, this one I felt slightly bad about. Just a little bit. A little bit. So I'm dead. And then I bring in my Medicham here. I'm like, okay, well, you have a Starmie and a Metagross. So I'm just going to click Shadow Ball. That'll kill either one of them. They chose to let Starmie die. Even though this isn't a tanky defensive one, this is good enough to the justice that I needed from that one, the previous battle, Live in the Sandstorm. So they bring in Registeel. My Medicham actually has Focus Punch, and I was thinking maybe they go for Thunder Wave. I go for Brick Break. I made the right play because they just, you know, throw me up into the moon, come crashing down. I'm dead to the Sandstorm. And Registeel does what Registeel does, which is chip heal in the Sandstorm. So I bring in Metagross, and I make a stupid play right here. I don't know what I was thinking. I went for Agility. I should have just clicked Earthquake off the bat. Because you guys are going to see, they're obviously going to paralyze me, which I knew about. Why did... I don't know. Maybe I thought I would be faster than Registeel after the paralysis. That made no sense. That was a stupid play. So then I go for an Earthquake, and as you're going to see, it did 47. So had I just did that the prior turn, I would have 1 outsped them. 2 not got paralyzed, and 3 had a chance of just unaliving them the previous turn. But then, got an Earthquake, killed that guy. I was like, well, because of my stupidity, this Metagross is probably going to go for Agility and sweep my whole entire team. I'm just kidding. It wasn't going to win. I actually have a Suicune. The only way you're going to win this is if you literally had to blow yourself up and then unalived yourself, and then I would have won. So, but luckily I didn't get paralyzed. I guess it wasn't a big deal, but bit of a misplay. And I won. I bet you're all surprised right now. Let's get to game 3. No pressure at all. Only the past 8 weeks of the tournament comes down to this next game. All or nothing. It's going to be so easy. Spoilers, guys. This battle was insanely close. Wish me the best of luck. Let's get into it. So they let off with an unusual Machamp, and I brought my mixed Salamence to intimidate them. I was like, okay, I think I'm okay with taking an attack from that guy, and they're intimidated, so whatever. I'll just go for a safe Dragon Claw, and it hits Skarmory, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to blast you with the good old Fire Mist right now. They do the Cringe Protect. Hey, I just maintain my course of action. I say, I don't like Skarmory, and I'm going to do it again. So I did do it again, and maybe they thought that I'd have a Magneton or something, so they brought in Zapdos, but that Fire Blast did a lot to Zapdos. I didn't think it would do that much, so I bring in Snorlax to eat up a presumably Thunderbolt. It was Thunderbolt. I didn't get paralyzed, so that's pretty gnarly, and then I go for a Body Slam here. I figured they would do that right there, the Baton Pass, and maybe I could get a Para or something on Skarmory. I got a crit! That crit was literally 100% useless because guess what? I, in fact, do just have a Magneton, so I don't care what your spread is. If that ain't crit, you would just die the next turn right now with this Thunderbolt that's coming your way. You could have been max speed F, max HP, you're dead. I have to deal with 1 layer of spikes for the rest of my life. I'm okay with that. So then they bring in Celebi. Celebi is annoying. So I bring in Snorlax. I'm like, I might get Leech Seeded. I did. I was like, well, whatever. That's not the worst thing I've ever had happen to me. So I go for a Body Slam. You know, usual stuff. Usual Snorlax shenanigans. And it hits this Tyranitar. I don't get the Para. That would have been nice because this Tyranitar, you're going to see it has leftovers. You don't see it this turn. Oh, no, you do see it that turn. My bad. It does have leftovers. So paralyzing it would have been cool. And I think I made a misplay here. I went for Earthquake, which is good damage. But I figured, you know, I didn't know what they wanted to do. Maybe I was afraid of, like, substitute or something weird. After that focus punch traumatized me, but I should just went for self-destruct, so I could have just done more damage, because my Snorlax just gets Spadef drop, sand, leech seed, all these terrible things happen to it, and I died. So I brought in Metagross, right? I'm ready to bring the Hammer of Dawn again, so I go for Meteor Mash, and oh, what do you know? It's my lucky day. I got the attack boost. That is going to be huge for me. I'm in a pretty good position right now to potentially kill everything. So they go for a Leech Seed, figures, and then I missed Meteor Mash. I was like, okay, fair enough. You know, I got the attack boost. It's a 20% chance to get the attack boost, 20% chance to get the boost, 15% chance to miss. Fair enough. I'm not going to complain. So I just decided to double down right here. I'm like, okay, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm going to die on this hill, or in this case, the Sandstorm, and I go for the agility. I'm going to be faster than everything in the game now, even if they have an Aerodactyl. So what you're going to see next is basically their game plan, because they don't actually have a game plan, is the usual game plan when you have a defensive stall Pokemon out in the field and you don't have any real, you know, answers to it. You just sit here and click recover. So they're hoping that I just miss, or I run out of Meteor Mashes, or oh, no, that won't happen. Something would happen before that. So what has to happen here, no matter what, is, because I'm staying in, I'm not switching. I either have to crit them, I have to get another attack boost, or I just miss enough, or they just keep recovering like this. And then the third option is I'm going to click Explosion for sure. I have Explosion on this Metagross. So I didn't really care. I was like, this isn't like that Swampert Starmie situation from game 1. I'm just going to sit here and just keep doing it, because I'm losing only 6 HP a turn. Oh, there it is. There was option number 1, or was it number 2? I don't remember. I got the attack boost. So now I'm at double attack right now. So I don't have to worry about going for boom. I'm just going to keep going for Meteor Mash. And I go for Meteor Mash, and this was for sure a higher roll, because that did 85. So 85 divided by 2, that's 42.5. So that was pretty high. So then they reveal their final Pokemon's Jirachi. I've got Earthquake. I'm just going to do the safe thing and just click Earthquake. I revealed to them my Earthquake, right? So they know I've got Meteor Mash, Agility, Earthquake. What do you guys think this Zapdos does right now? What do you think it does? Oh my god. It goes for Protect. And I just, you know, I blew it up because I'm like, it has Thunderbolt and Baton Pass. Like, if it has Protect, it must also have, like, Toxin. I just thought that was a weird combination. That's like something you put on, like, a defensive Zapdos. So, I don't know. Or Rest, Sleep, Talk. I don't know. I did not see that coming. I thought that was very odd, but I guess that's Gen 3 OU. You can just use whatever. So I go for Thunderbolt on that Zapdos. And it hits Tyranitar. As you can see, this one was bulkier than the last one because that did 42. I go for another Thunderbolt, and it lived on 2. Check it out. They missed Fire Blast, and I don't feel bad at all. And I mean it, because that is the risk that you run. That's how it works in this game, because I know Tyranitar learns Earthquake, so, you know, I get it. They hate Skarmory, but whatever, that's the price you pay. So, oh, I make a terrible play. This was the worst play I made the whole entire set. I went for Thunder Wave on the Jirachi, expecting maybe a Fire Punch or something, or like Body Slam cringe. I was expecting it to be defensive. It's a sub-Calm Mind one. That's like one of the scariest things ever, like in the format, guys, especially in a Sandstorm, because now it's just chip healing. And I got a higher roll there after the Spadef raise and took it out. Oh, I did it again. I think that's twice in a row, I believe. So they just decided to Calm Mind this turn. And as you're going to see, the Magnet Boosted Thunderbolt, it's running out of juice. It only did 22. So if you're good at math, you know that they can go for a substitute right now, and I won't be able to break it unless I get a crit. Did I get a crit? The answer is no. So they're behind a sub, but I'm seeing a bit of hope, because I'm thinking if they have double special attack right here, they would have went for Fire Punch, but they didn't. So I'm led to believe you don't have Fire Punch. So I obviously break the sub that turn. And then they, you know, shockingly enough, I know it's crazy, they go for another substitute. I was very scared at this point in time. I thought I lost the whole battle because I went for that Thunder Wave, which, looking back on it, even if it was a defensive one, it was much scarier than not. If I had, it would have been better if I just went for Thunderbolt. That would have outweighed the cons. So they, you know, get down to 28% HP, and then they go for their final substitute. They're literally on 3 HP. Yeah, Jirachi, low-key pretty strong. I kind of slept on this thing. I didn't see it a lot when I was new to this format, but it is very, very strong. They finally hit me with a Thunderbolt, which obviously has to be their hardest hitting attack. So they for sure don't have Psychic, and they for sure don't have Fire Punch. That's a fact for sure. Because either one of those would have just killed me. So that's good to know. So I'm thinking, okay, you don't have Psychic or anything like that. But I'm just going to bring in my Salamence, and I kind of have to hope that I move faster and kill you. And I got a crit with Brick Break, because I wasn't clicking Fire Blast. I learned from my opponent's mistakes. That was not a chance I was willing to take. I didn't know that thing spread. Did that crit matter? Maybe. I think it was more likely than not that they just died, but I was willing to do that over going for Fire Blast and possibly missing and then possibly living depending on their HP and like SpDef spread. Anyway, they bring in Zapdos and we just straight up try to maul each other, and I was the one that got mauled. So my final two Pokemon are Heracross and Suicune, so this is not good for David. So I got to go like Super Saiyan Jimmy Neutron mode right now. So I'm like, okay, they're going to click Thunderbolt, right? And I went for a Swords Dance, and I knew they were sweating when I did that, because thanks to the Sandstorm that, you know, they set up, that's going to proc my Select Berry. That would not have happened without the Sandstorm. So now I am faster than everything under the sun. So you got to check this out. This came down to kind of a 50-50. Those odds might be a little scuffed. But my final Pokemon, Suicune, they don't know that. But they do know that I obviously outspeed them and all that stuff. And they are... Oh, remember that Protect that they used on my Metagross? They're going to do it this turn to see what move that I go for, right? So I went for Rock Slide. I have Rock Slide and Mega Horn. That's it. And my final move is Substitute. I can't use that because I don't have enough HP. So I was thinking, okay, well, I don't want to allow my Suicune to 1v1 the Zapdos or even the Machamp. The Machamp, I don't think I'll beat that thing. It's probably like Banded or something. Even if it's not Banded, Leftovers and Bulk Up. Not a good time. So it all comes down to this, guys. I'm thinking one of two things is going to happen. They stay and I go for Rock Slide, I kill them, then I take out that Machamp the next turn with Mega Horn. Or I predict Machamp to come in right now and go for the Swarm Boosted Double Attack Mega Horn and eliminate that thing. Which one do you guys think I did? The right one or the wrong one? The right one. I figured they would do that because from their gameplay earlier when they protected on my Metagross, I was like, this is like, because I think they brought in my Jirachi and my Metagross to see if I had Earthquake, and then, you know, they're like, oh, it probably has Earthquake, so therefore it's probably also going to have Explosion, so then I'll just go for Protect, kill him. So this guy likes to click Protect, right? I know they're a big fan of it. So I figured they would want to do that. And then my Heracross would have died to the sand, you know. I would not have killed Machamp with Rock Slide, and then I could have killed an next turn with Mega Horn, but then I had to get protected on by that Zapdos. Heracross dies, then it's a 1v1 with Zapdos and Suicune. Now, honestly, well, just, you'll see what happens. They go for Protect, and then obviously, what's funny is I actually missed the Rock Slide. I cannot make this up. That did not connect. That is very alarming. You don't want to see that right now. Suicune fighting Zapdos, not exactly my favorite activity. So they're obviously going to be trying to go for the double Protect, right? And I hate how they actually got it, because now I'm going to have to go into my Suicune, and you're going to see that Thunderbolt did a lot to my Suicune. Too much. I don't want to admit it. I lied. I lied. We never got to my Suicune because they failed on the double Protect, and that Rock Slide did connect. GG's, well played. My last Pokemon was Suicune, though, and I actually wasn't... At the moment that Machamp died, we were chilling because... Well, okay, we weren't guaranteed to be chilling, but my Suicune is offensive, but it has 100 HP EVs, so if that Zapdos was timid, 100% guaranteed I was going to live kill with Ice Beam. If it crits me, okay, and that's something else. If it pairs me, okay, that's something else. If it was modest, I actually still had a chance of living, but the odds were in my favor. But I was sweating bullets. I was like, Heracross, don't you dare do it to me. Not two rock misses in a row. Even, I've said this so many times, Rock Slide is such a tilting move. Even when you're the one using it, it can miss and cost you the game. You can't be mad, though, if it misses, because it's got 30% chance to flinch. That's enough rambling. That's enough. So, we're still in it. We're 6-2. I did not think I would win that set after how that game 1 went. Game 1 was very infuriating. GG's to Incognition. I don't even know if I said their name throughout this whole set or not, but that's their name. Very good player. And moving forward, next week is week 9, in case that 9 comes after 8, if you guys didn't know. I'm good at the numbers. So it all comes down to that. I'm moving forward, I can't lose any more games. I have to win the next game to make the 32-person bracket. And if I lose, well, then I'm just out entirely. I did not survive Swiss, although I got mighty close. And then the 32-person bracket, I believe, is single elimination. So the question is David going to make the playoffs? I don't know. I don't think I don't think I will, but that'd be pretty funny if I did. Okay? Anything left for me to say? Anything at all? Anything at all? No? You guys take care. Bye.